Welcome back, YouTubers. This is my second video. I'm so happy that you're watching again. Today we are gonna make a simple artichoke dip. It's something that you can bring to parties or just save for home. It can be served warm or cold. Today I'm gonna do it warm. I just wanted to give you an overview of exactly what you need to prepare this recipe. So 1 can of artichoke hearts, around 400 mils or 14 ounces. You need about a half a tub of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm using the light. You can use whatever you want. 1 garlic clove. We're using about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. A half cup of grated cheese. You can use whatever you want, really. I had mozzarella in the fridge, so I'm gonna use mozzarella. You could use cheddar, Gruyere, Swiss, basically whatever you want, just something that has a little bit of moisture. I picked some fresh herbs from the garden, just for some color, because you'll see a lot of these ingredients are beige. So I've got about, I don't know, a teaspoon each of parsley and chives that I'm gonna throw in. You can use dried if you want. Maybe use about a half a teaspoon of each dried. Next I have sour cream. You can use sour cream or mayonnaise. You're looking for about a half a cup of it. And last but not least, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. This isn't fresh lemon juice, that's just kind of the one from the bottle. So all pretty simple ingredients that you may have at your house already. First thing that I'm gonna do is open our can of artichokes. You'll see that they're in this kind of briny liquid. So you want to drain it off. You can put it in a colander, or I usually just put my fingers over top like this and turn it upside down in the sink. Okay, so once those are drained off, I usually get myself a paper towel. Just to dry them out a little bit more, because you don't want all of that brine liquid to misflavor your dip or spread here. It'll just make it super salty and watery. I don't have a food processor, an electric one, so I'm using just one of these like hand chop. I think it's a Pampered Chef product, or if you don't have either, you can always just chop these ingredients finely with a knife. So first thing I'm gonna put in is the garlic. 1 clove of garlic. Put it in our food processor or hand pump food processor. I just don't want huge chunks of garlic because you do warm up this dip, but you don't fully cook it. So anything you add to it is still gonna taste raw because it's not really baking. So next I'm gonna put in all of my artichoke hearts. That's kind of the max of what this little hand mixer blender thing can take. And I just wanna rough dice those. I don't want it too fine. I still want some texture in my dip. Okay, that looks good. So just to give you an idea of the texture that you want, you've got some big leaves there. Well, bigger pieces. You don't want like a pureed consistency. That kind of ruins it. Next, it's just basically combining all the ingredients. Don't really need to do it in any particular order, but I will start with the artichoke and garlic. You're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Adding to our artichokes, I'm gonna go with the wet ingredients first. It'll make it easier to stir. So here we have our sour cream, our 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, half a cup of our grated cheese of your choice. If you want to go a little wild, you could do something like a smoked cheddar or smoked Gouda. Digging into our Philadelphia cream cheese. It's not easy to open with damp hands. I'm going to use about half a tub. It's better if you take it out a little early from the fridge. Woo, flying. And that way it can kind of soften up and it's easier to mix. It's the Parmesan. And we've got to chop our herbs. I could have put those in the food processor. I wish I thought of that earlier, but I'll just give them a rough chop here. So we've got all of our ingredients in the one bowl here, and we just want to mix it together really until they're combined. If you have like a huge food processor, you can probably just do this all in one go. Everything is incorporated together. What you are going to want to find if you want to serve it warm is a little baking dish. Something that's oven friendly, of course. And put all your dip into it. The deeper the container that you have to put this dip in, the longer time that it's going to take to heat through. So just keep that in mind. That's why I like to choose something that's kind of longer and more shallow. That looks good already. Like really good. So you can serve it just like this. It's not as good as serving it warm. I preheated the oven earlier to 450 degrees, and I'm just gonna pop this dish in and set my timer for 10 minutes. We're back after 10 minutes of our dip in at 450. Let's see how she looks. Okay. Looks pretty good so far. It's not quite the consistency that I want it to be on top. I want a little bit of brown on top, a little color. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crank the oven to broil, high broil. And I'm gonna add just a finishing touch on here. So I've grated some mozzarella cheese. I'm just gonna put it in a really thin layer on top of our dish here. Press it down just a little bit. When you have things on broil, it cooks really quickly, so if you press it down, the cheese will kind of all melt at the same time. Once your oven is ready to go at high broil, I'm gonna throw our little dish back in. Three minutes is up and it smells awesome in here. This looks perfect and it's so hot. Hot and bubbling and perfect. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. So what you're looking for basically is just that nice brown color on the top, on the little ridges here. It's best to serve this right after you pull it out of the oven. Obviously be really careful because the pan is going to be very hot, so just warn your guests. So I'm just going to take some of those herbs that I got earlier from the garden, the chives and the parsley, and I'll just sprinkle it on top a bit. I'm telling you, it is going to taste very good. You can eat this with just about any starch. It would be amazing with some kind of an artisanal bread, fresh bread, pumpernickel, something along those lines. But what I have today, there we go, multigrain rice crackers. Can't wait. Yeah. The fresh herbs are so nice just to combat all that richness. So delicious. Voila. That is our warm artichoke dip.